What's up, guys? Devin Zander here with my host,
Clayton Johnson.
We are the
Rowdy Boys!
Fucking Rowdy Boys. And today we've got 8 steps to a 6-figure webinar. Okay, so if you want to run webinars, we just did an episode the other week where we went through a whole breakdown of webinars.
Yep.
So if you want to see like the whole beginning to end strategy, running a profitable 6, 7, 8-figure webinar, go check that bad boy out. But if you just want the quick rapid fire, then today we're going to give you quick 8 tips on running a highly successful, profitable webinar.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, we've done multi 8 figures with webinars. So everything that we share today, not only does it work, but it works pretty fucking well.
If you're gonna run webinars, it's gonna just like take it to the next level. You know, these are things that you can implement immediately in there, and it's gonna boost conversions, keep your retention high. So it's gonna be great, man.
All right, we
ready
to get into
yeah,
it?
Let's do it.
All right, secret number 1 is your webinar should only have one outcome. And what I mean by that is there should only be one transformation happening in this webinar. It needs to be focused on one thing. So if you're signing up for someone on a webinar on how to, like get a 6-figure business and a 6-pack at the same time, it's not going to be as compelling. Okay?
That'd be a cool webinar.
Instead, what you want to do is you just have one outcome, and ideally you want to have it within a time frame as well. So for us, we do how to build a 6-figure jewelry business in the next 90 days. That is the one single outcome. And everything we do in the webinar is based around that one thing. Never get off topic. We don't start talking about like t-shirts or other shit. It's just jewelry, 6 figures, 90 days.
I like that because it's going to work from the beginning. You know, they have this saying that a confused mind always says no. So like from the beginning, when you start even promoting your webinar, they know exactly what it's about, and you know what to write about, you know what to say. If you're covering something extremely specific, like how to do X, it's going to help conversions go up, and it's going to be great.
Dude, I've done affiliate webinars where I promoted someone else's, and then they just start talking about random shit, and then I see the chat, they're just all so confused. Like, how do we get here? What's going on? I thought this was about like Etsy or something, and now we're talking about Amazon. What the hell? Don't do that. That's tip number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, and this one came from the master himself, Clayton Johnson, is to use relatable proof consistently throughout your webinar.
Yeah, and the reason I know this is because I didn't used to do it. You know, I really sucked at it.
That's how we
learn.
learn.
So when we first started writing webinars, I wanted to like really teach people a lot, and I would go through like all this theory and try to show people stuff. But then once we started using an enormous amount of proof inside the webinar, I'm talking like literally from the beginning of the webinar where you just get in, you just start showing people proof that it works, and then when you have your first strategy that you show them that it works, and you go all the way through to the end, show proof the entire time. Like it's gonna help your conversions go up because people just don't believe you.
And that actually brings me to the next point, which is tip number 3.
Tip number 3,
which is every time you make a claim, back it up with proof.
Yeah.
So we use proof for 2 ways, right? To keep people engaged because they want to feel like they can do this. But also you're going to be making a bunch of claims throughout your webinar. Typically you're selling something, so you're going to claim that it achieves some kind of result. And anytime you do make a claim, you should back it up with proof. Now, a few different things is, so for instance, we just talked about how to build a 6-figure jewelry business in 90 days. So what do I need to do after I say people can do that? I need to show them proof of other people doing it. And another way that people don't think of very often is when you're doing your bonus stack, that you should also back that up with proof. And what I mean is bonus stack, you're saying not only do you get the product, but you get this bonus number 1, which is valued at $900 or $500 or $10,000. You should show proof that it's actually worth that much. So what we like to do is we'll say, okay, well, you're going to get this software free of charge with your purchase, and that's worth $5,000. And then what we do is we show a testimonial from a student. It's like, I made $5,000 using that software. Thank you so much. And you back everything up with proof. Not just saying like, oh, we can help you make money, but even when you're justifying your price, you show them proof that it's worth that much. That's been huge and massive, and it really just cements it there. There's no room for argument.
Yeah, I really like that, man. Let's keep going.
Hell yeah. Okay. Tip number 4 here, high energy. You gotta keep
energy.
the energy high throughout. Yeah, Clayton's over there fucking falling asleep.
No.
He's like,
well, no, dude,
yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, the high energy is really important. It needs to be high energy and natural energy. The way that I think about it is because webinars or just entertaining people online, people are just bored constantly. Like people are extremely bored in their lives, and they're gonna get on a webinar. It's probably a boring topic, right? You're gonna try to sell them something. Probably not that exciting. So you have to be so enthused. And if you can deliver your energy through your voice and actually get it up there, that will transfer through the screen to them, and they will pay attention through the whole webinar. So whatever energy level you think is good enough, take it up like 4 to 10 more notches.
But be authentic.
And still be authentic, yes. I think that's true. So the way that I do it is like before every webinar, I'll like
do a line of coke.
Yeah, exactly. I would just do drugs. I really actually physically get pumped up. Like it's a Tony Robbins
He
thing.
really does play music and he does jumping jacks and dance. He does it before every podcast episode too.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to get like physically in there. And then once people get in, you got to start with the energy. You got to like, yo guys, what's up? It's going to be so exciting today. Like it's going to be sick. I have so much to show you, like really give them the energy and that'll keep people engaged. Yep. There's nothing worse than getting on a webinar and the guy's like, hey, we're going to get started here in a few minutes and then dead silence.
But not only to keep them engaged though, but like you're saying, it also gets them excited about the prospect of what you're doing. Yeah. And then if you can keep people excited about what it is that you're doing or offering, obviously they're going to be much more likely to buy. You don't want the topic to be boring because then no one's going to fucking care about it, right?
I think the energy like flows into some other things too, like no dead time, the pace of the webinar, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been on a webinar before with like, hey guys, we're going to get started in a few minutes and then it's dead silence. Dude, you got to keep the energy, the words, you got to keep the pace high. Once I hit go live, I don't stop talking for the next hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Just like it's Friday, No,
Saturday, Sunday. I'm straight up like, hey guys, we're going to be going and getting started here in a few minutes. I see some people hopping in. If you want to drop something in the chat, say what's up. Oh, hey, what's up, Mike? What's going on? Hey guys, for anybody that's just joining now, we're going to be getting started here in a few more minutes. Like literally just like don't stop talking until you finish the last line of it.
They end up buying just to get Clayton to shut up. Actually,
it's sick of my voice.
He hacks their phone, hacks their computer speakers, and just keeps talking nonstop. All right, next tip here. We got tip number 5, which is to tell the hero's journey. Now, this one is probably pretty obvious. I think it's 101 for every webinar. But the reason you do this is because people want to buy from someone who is relatable. If you tell them how you were in a certain place and you overcame things, it was tough, it was terrible, there were so many roadblocks, but it led to this epiphany. First of all, that explains why it's a magic fix. But second of all, and most importantly, it just allows people to relate to you. If you're born with like a silver golden spoon in your mouth and everything's always been handed to you and you got it easy, people won't believe that this is for them. They'll be like, well, he was lucky, or he just had the right deck of cards. I don't have that. So you need to do this to relate with people and let them know like, hey, this is good for you too. I was in your spot.
Yeah. The hero's journey essentially just saying how you were going along, how things got bad, how you discovered this thing that changed you. You changed internally and then you came out of it. It's the typical journey. But the thing about it that works is because people find connection through vulnerability. People find connection when they share something that's like not imperfect about themselves. If you get on the webinar and you're like, dude, I'm a millionaire and I'm awesome, the whole time people don't connect.
My Lamborghini.
Right? They need to connect with something vulnerable. So you need to open up and be authentic about it. And that's what you get the connection from.
Where's your rowdy energy?
Rowdy, it's there, baby.
No, you're not. You're whispering into the microphone. All right, we got number 6 here, which is handle objections with bonuses. This one.
Okay, you're the master at this one then.
Ninja tactic. Yeah. But realistically, all you have to do is before you sell something, you need to figure out what issues people have. Okay, and then maybe your product, your main product, doesn't necessarily solve those issues, right? So, for instance, when we sell an e-commerce course, we mostly run Facebook ads. Like 90% of our revenue comes from Facebook ads when we sell on our Shopify store. However, some people do not want to run Facebook ads. So we created a bonus to handle that objection, which is a Google shopping training.
I like that.
Over the past few years, we made a couple million off Google shopping, which is very small in comparison to the Facebook ad revenue. But a lot of people would be okay with making just a few $1,000,000. So we showed them how they can set up like, hey, you don't want to do Facebook ads. Guess what? We're going to show you Google shopping and then it's great. Here's why, blah, 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 blah. And then we do what I discussed earlier, which is show proof that it works, which is showing, like an income statement from someone who used our Google shopping training. And boom, massive right there. Or, something that we did recently was we built a new software because we're selling the jewelry stuff and you have to design message cards, which means you either need to know Photoshop or Canva, something like that, right? Or hire a designer. We said, nah, fuck all that. We're going to build a software that will design your jewelry for you. And it's amazing. It's awesome. People love it. Now they don't have to worry about spending money on designers or learning Photoshop. So they had an objection. We handled it with a bonus before they could ever even bring it up.
I like it, man. Nice.
Massive. That's what you meant to say. Massive, ladies and gentlemen.
Number
7. Okay, we're bad at counting. Is you need to get participation from your audience.
So when you start out the webinar, I mean, you can just be on there reading your slides, but I think it's so much more effective if you can actually start asking the audience to do something. Right when I get on, I'll start being like, all right, guys, I need your participation here. So I want to know, can you put something in the chat to make sure that you guys can hear me? Put where you're from. Oh, what's up, Bob? I see you coming in. Oh, that's nice to see you. Jasmine or whoever's rolling in the chat. And then as I go through the slides, slides, I'm like, hey, do you guys see this? You see how this can work for your brand? And if you do see that, put a 1 in the chat or something like that. So I want to wait for the ones to come up there. Ask for actual participation, and you'll get a bunch of people that put 1 in the chat, and they'll start flying up because so many people are putting it in there.
And then you get an ego boner. You're like, yes,
exactly.
So many people are giving me 1s.
But at the same time, you get mad social proof. People like to be around other people, like in the crowd. Like the psychology of it is like once people start doing something, they see a lot of people doing it. They're like, oh, this is okay. Let's do that. It's if you ever notice on like Reddit, the first comment that someone makes, if it's positive, a bunch of other people make positive comments. If it's bad, other people pile on with bad comments. People want to do what the crowd does. So when you say put a 1 in the chat if you're feeling this, you got 3-5 people in there, you're gonna get like 70 more. So keeping that participation going is super helpful for lots of reasons.
Yeah, I like to keep the chat basically private for the whole webinar because I don't want people getting distracted and talking to each other.
Yeah, you can do it both ways.
No, with Demio, you can switch it from private to public really easily. Yeah. So every time I ask for social proof, I'll change it to public right there, and then I'll say, give me a 1 in the chat. Then they can all see each other's 1s. And then what I really like to do is at the end, when I'll be like, all right, so are you in? Does this sound great? Do you want to implement this in your business? Are you joining today? Then I'll turn it public, and then everyone's like, I'm in, and then they can all see it. And then we're like, all right, spots are running out for the special bonus, which only has 30 spots. Look at this. Joe's in, Tom's in, there's in, stuff like that. And on the saying 1s and 2s things, my old partner, Alex, had this really weird thing where he would always make people type 2 in the chat. And the reasoning behind it was because later on in the webinar, we said, you have 2 choices right now. We wanted them to take option number 2. Yeah. So Alex was convinced that if we made them type 2 in the webinar over and over and over and over, like 100 times, literally like 100 times. And then we asked him option number 1, which is keep going on in your life and, keep living, going down this road and never be the person you could be. Or option number 2 is you come and change your life. He like swore by that it made them more likely to buy. So
that is like some NLP shit right there. Yeah.
Right. Tip number 8, last one, if you want to run your own 6-figure webinar, and honestly, these could take you to 7-8 figures, is to have just a ridiculously fucking good guarantee at the end to make people, there goes the pen, safe with their purchase. Okay. There's tons of different ways you could do this. And I always just did a 30-day money-back guarantee until I saw what Jason Fladlin does like 5 or 6 years ago. He released this video about, I think it was like an amazing selling machine promotion, and he always does like over $10 million over a webinar for that. Yeah. So at the very end, he introduced a new money-back guarantee, which was if you can't make a single sale or something, or if you don't like this business, I'm butchering it, so don't take this from me exactly. We will buy your Amazon business from you for more than you spent to buy it. And so it was like $2,500 to buy the course or something. He said that he'd buy it from you for $5,000. And then he posted an image of his Wells Fargo. He got a notarized thing from Wells Fargo that says this account has $1 million in it and will be used to buy back any businesses or whatever. Wow. And apparently, according to Jason, this added $4 million in sales to the webinar, and it only increased his refunds by $250,000, which is obviously a ton of refunds. Yeah. But if you look at that in proportion, 4 million extra, that's $3.75 million extra dollars right there, just because he had an amazing guarantee. Yeah. And then, so what we do is not as insane, but we just like to say money back guarantee plus double to cover your ad spend. So we basically double your money back if you don't like it. But we also have things that people need to do, which is go through the entire course, get on a call with us, stuff like that. But we hold on to that guarantee, and our refund rate did not go up at all after making that guarantee, but our conversion rates went up about 15%, not like to 30% or something, but 15% from where they were. So an extra like 2% conversions. Dude, that's massive.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like literally that could be, put one more slide into your deck with that awesome bonus or guarantee or whatever, and then automatically see more money. So super powerful, super simple.
What Alex Hermosi says is you need to give it like a ridiculous name or you can't just say it's
I should be more creative with the name.
A money back guarantee. If you don't like it after 30 days, we'll give your money back. And he says his is a Club a Baby Seal guarantee. If you are not so happy with our product after 30 days that you wouldn't club a baby seal so you could keep access to it, we'll refund all your money. So apparently you got to make them really exciting. So boom, those are our 8 tips if you want to get a 6-figure webinar, 7-figure, 8-figure too. We'll go through them really quickly. one outcome, okay? You need to have one goal, one outcome at the end for your customers to achieve. You need to use relatable proof consistently. Every time you make a claim, you need to back it up with proof. You need to have high as fuck energy because people don't want to snooze. Like we were watching Logan Paul before, and that shit's crazy.
That shit's crazy.
You have to compete with that.
Yeah.
He's like shooting guns and fucking riding lawnmowers at the same time.
And people are trying to watch your little like e-com webinar, dude. You gotta bring the energy and entertainment.
Bring the heat. Number 5, you gotta tell the hero's journey. 6, handle any objection with bonuses. Think of any possible thing that would cause your customer not to buy. Handle it with a bonus. Number 7, you need to get participation. Get the people interacting. You could try Alex's NLP tactic. Okay, you can do that. And then finally, the last one is the sick money back guarantee. That's the Rowdy Fist Bump. Now, guys, I have a question for everyone who's watching. If you haven't yet liked, subscribed, commented, and rang the fucking bell on YouTube, what are you doing? The fuck? Look at this notebook. You see this?
Doesn't even care.
God damn it.
So mad.
Do it. We actually got a lot of subscribers recently, so this is working. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Hey, the more people that subscribe, the madder we'll get.
We'll send you a fucking t-shirt, okay? The swag is real.
And shirtless pics.
I'll send you shirtless. Man, look at these. Look at these muscles, guys.
Oh my God.
You want to see it, okay?
Oh my God.
You can also subscribe and leave a 5-star review with text on Apple Podcasts. If you're on Spotify, just subscribe. And then don't forget to head to rowdyboys.net. Sign up for our exclusive email list. Get exclusive content. Not yet, but you get some cool shit.
Yeah,
we're going to figure that out one day once we quit our other businesses and work on Rowdy Boys exclusively. Clayton fucking Fist Bump. Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.